So, I mean, I was a social work major in college, because I took a career assessment test and it said I wasn't profit oriented. So I took that on. I'm like, okay, well, I don't seem to care about profit. So I became a social worker. I'll just be really clear that I think I never fully understood that before. I understand that tremendously now that there's value in a team. And, if you have the vision that you're supposed to have, right, which you wouldn't have if it wasn't meant for you, then you got to step out there a little bit and you got to trust and you have to trust other people, right? You actually can't send all the emails. You can't fix all the technology problems. You can't do all of those things by yourself or you're going to burn yourself out. And that's certainly not what you go on this entrepreneurial journey for. You don't go on this to burn yourself out and not have quality of life, especially if you can learn it in 6 weeks or a weekend. I love it. I want to know it. But like first, not gonna want to fast track this shit. Like, yeah. I'm going back to college, right? But if I can learn it in some way from people who are doing it, then that's what I invest in.
But you do it anyway.
You do it anyway. I do it terrified, and I still, every day I'm like, okay, I can't believe this is happening. But we're doing it. But when it happens, and you can't. You have to be prepared for the moment, but also willing to take a risk, right? And I'm a risk taker. Don't get overwhelmed by the whole journey. Just take the first step. You can always go back and get a job. You can always get a job. So if I don't take this chance on myself and I don't set some time frames, that's never going to happen. And if am I okay with that? And so, yeah, I'm always just like, you got to try. And so, it was kind of like, okay, I think I can do it. And the person who I have to satisfy is me. Right. And so I'm going to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. In the same way, we all take on jobs and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work. Every single item on this desk, somebody had an idea and somebody else said it wasn't going to work. But yet we're sitting here talking on Zoom, right? Which like who could have thought of that, right? At some point. So I typically and built a reputation for being able to kind of turn around programs that may be in trouble. So it's like shelter programs or housing programs. And I hadn't done it in quite a while, but I got called into a program last week. And as I stood there, I was like, this is not the life I want. Yeah, I mean, I would say, first of all, that little career assessment test that I took in 1987, I think was wrong, to be honest, right? I think, in obviously a whole different time, right? Especially for women, right? I was at that point thinking of being a finance major to say, like, okay, I have an interest in finance, but I'm not profit oriented, like it just didn't. So I was like, I'll be a social worker. Right? I think that things have changed. I think in my life, over time, I was like, yeah, that doesn't make sense because I am actually interested in profit. Right? Nobody's ever going to fight to pay you more. Like, because money is money. It has energy. It moves, right? And so it's going to move to the place where it needs to be. It sounds a little woo-woo, I know, but
I'm good with woo.
I decided then that no matter what happened, that we had dreams, right? And that we were going to still accomplish those dreams. And I honestly feel very strongly that, like, without that happening, I would not have become the person I needed to be. Like, I feel like I've been able to realize the fullness of who I need to be by having all the things I thought about the world was going to be for me blown up. I want to build something so fabulous, so beautiful, so helpful, and that changes the world so much that people want to buy it, right? Or be able to say, you don't align with my values, so I will not be bought out. Like that kind of like, I want to have that level of decision to make in my life and for my business. I feel like we have opportunity that never existed before for us as women. And so we got to take it. We have to capitalize on it.